Imperial Chief Raban-elect and Imperial Assistant Raban-elect, please come forward to be installed. Imperial Sirs, the duty of the office to which you have been elected is of such a nature as to require your utmost skill and devotion, and complete knowledge of the statutes and general regulations of the order. For under certain circumstances, you may be called to preside over this Imperial Council. Each of you will now be vested with the jewel of your office. Imperial Sirs, having already received the jewels of your office to which you have been elected, do you solemnly promise and swear before the ancient Egyptian Arabic order, nobles mystic shrine of both North and South America, and its jurisdictions incorporated, and appealing to heaven for rectitude of your actions, that you will use your best endeavors to promote the peace and prosperity of the order? All this, whoso swear, will raise his right hand to God and answer, I do swear, so help me God.
I do swear,
so help me God.
By the authority vested in me by the Imperial Council, I, Caldy Parker, past Imperial Potentate, declare you duly installed into the office to which you have been elected. Congratulations.
Imperial High Priest and Prophet-elect and Imperial Oriental Guide-elect, please come forward to be installed. Lord Courage Thomas, Imperial High Priest and Prophet. Imperial Sir, as you advance toward the Orient and Prince Hall Shrindom, your responsibilities increase with every new step. Sir, as the Imperial High Priest and Prophet, to you has fallen a sacred duty of the highest importance, and in your hands cannot fail to impress all with reverence, sincerity, and solemnity. May Allah give you strength and protect you as you discharge this all-important task. Yara Sylvester, Imperial Oriental Guide. Imperial Sir, the office of Imperial Oriental Guide to which you have been elected is one of much importance in the Imperial Council in the discharge of the duties appertaining to its work. It will require much study and devotion to the responsibilities of your office. Each of you will now be invested with the jewel of your respective office. Imperial Sirs, having already received the jewels of the office to which you have been elected, do you solemnly promise and swear before the ancient Egyptian Arabic order, Nobles Mystic Shrine of North and South America and its jurisdiction incorporated, and appealing to the heaven for rectitude of action, that you will use your best endeavors to promote the peace and prosperity of the order? All this who so swear will raise his right hand to God and answer, I do swear, so help me God.
I do swear, so help me God.
By authority vested in me by the Imperial Council, I, Don Laura Parks, past Imperial Potentate, declare you duly installed into the office to which you have been elected. Congratulations.
Imperial Treasurer-elect and Imperial Recorder-elect, please come forward to be installed. Imperial Sirs, you have been elected respectively to the office of Imperial Treasurer and Imperial Recorder. In selecting each of you to discharge the important duties of your office, the nobility undoubtedly believe that you possess all those qualities that should distinguish you. Promptitude, correctness, punctuality, and integrity are its cardinal virtue. And I cannot doubt your resolve to discharge these functions with benefit and advantage to the order and to reflect honor upon yourselves. Each of you will now be vested with the jewel of your office. Imperial Sirs, having already received the jewels of the office to which you have been elected, do you solemnly promise and swear before the ancient Egyptian, Arabic, order, noble, mystic shrine of North and South America and its jurisdictions incorporated, and appealing to heaven for rectitude of your action, that you will use your best endeavors to promote the peace and prosperity of the order? All those who so swear shall raise their right hand to God and answer, I do swear, so help me God.
I do swear, so help me God.
Authority vested in me by the Imperial Council, I, Rachel Jerome Julian, past Imperial Potentate, declare you duly installed into the office to which you have been elected. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Imperial First and Second Ceremonial Master-elect, please come forward to be installed. Jawan L. Avery, Imperial First Ceremonial Master. Dr. Terrell A. Gray, Imperial Second Ceremonial Master. Imperial Sirs, your election to the office of the Imperial First and Second Ceremonial Master of the Imperial Council requires you to become well acquainted with the membership of the order. Your primary function when the council is in session is to purge the same at such times as you may be directed and perform other duties as may be assigned to you. Each of you will now be vested with the jewel of your office. Imperial Sirs, having already received the jewels of the office to which you have been elected, do you solemnly promise and swear before the ancient Egyptian Arabic order, noblest mystic shrine of North and South America and its jurisdiction incorporated, and appealing to heaven for rectitude of your action, that you will use your best endeavors to promote the peace and prosperity of the order? All this who so swear will raise his right hand to God and answer, I do swear, so help me God.
I do swear, so help me God.
By authority vested in me by the Imperial Council, I, Donald R. Parks, past Imperial Potentate, declare you duly installed into the office to which you have been elected. Congratulations.
Thank you, Imperial Sir.
Imperial Marshal, you will escort the Imperial Captain of the Guard, Rodney Eggleston, to the altar. Imperial Sir, you have been elected to the office of Imperial Captain of the Guard of this, our ancient Egyptian Arabic order, nobles of the mystic shrine of North and South America Incorporated. I must impress upon you, sir, the importance of your station at the entrance of our august body when in session. You will guard that entrance against all intruders. You, along with the Imperial Outer Guard, are to form a double and trust guard, one within and other without, vigilantly assisting each other in the duties of your respective order. Imperial Captain of the Guard, you will be invested with the jewel of your office. These wives make a lot of sacrifice. We like to make sure they get their recognition. And the feds. Imperial Sir, having received the jewel of your office and your feds, do you solemnly promise and swear before the ancient Egyptian Arabic order, nobles of the mystic shrine of North and South America, and appealing to the heaven rectitude of your action, that you will use your best endeavors to promote the peace and prosperity of the order, all to which you so swear You will raise your right hand to God and answer, I do swear, so help me God.
I do swear, so help me God.
By the authority vested in me by the Imperial Council, I do hereby declare that you are duly installed to the office to which you have been elected. Congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause.
Imperial Grievance and Appeals Committee member-elect, please come forward to be installed. Rodney G. Jones, Imperial Grievance and Appeals Committee. Imperial Sir, your training and experience in parliamentary procedures and your study and interpretation of the Book of Laws, Constitution and General Laws of the ancient Egyptian Arabic order, Novus Mystic Shrine, qualifies you to review and investigate grievances and appeals submitted to your committee and to affirm or reverse the grievance or appeal, and to report the findings and recommendations of the committee to the Imperial Council Divan and or the Imperial Council when in annual session. You will now be invested with the jewel of your office. Imperial Sir, having already received the jewel of the office to which you have been elected, do you solemnly promise and swear before the ancient Egyptian Arabic order Novus Mystic Shrine of North and South America and its jurisdiction incorporated, and appealing to heaven for rectitude of your action, that you will use your best endeavors to promote the peace and prosperity of the order? All this who so swear will raise his right hand to God and answer, I do swear, so help me God.
I do swear, so help me God.
By authority vested in me by the Imperial Council, I, Donald R. Parks, past Imperial Potentate, declare you duly installed into the office to which you have been elected. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Deputy Imperial Potentate-elect, please come forward to be installed. Eric R. Myers, Deputy Imperial Potentate. Imperial Sir, Article 7, Section 1 of the bylaws of the Constitution and General Regulation of the Order set forth the added duties and responsibilities you must assume as Deputy Imperial Potentate of the Imperial Council. Your advancement to a position in the Orient of the Order must be a constant reminder to you that you must set a good example of honesty, prudence, and fidelity to discharge the duties incumbent upon this office. Your position on the left of the Imperial Potentate is a further reminder that you have yet one more step to take, and that it behooves you to diligently prepare yourself should it become your lot to make that step. Be alert to the proceedings at all times, for the Imperial Potentate, other Divan members, or any one of the nobility may require your assistance at a moment's notice. You will now be vested with the jewel of your office, a fez emblazoned with 4 gold pyramids and a 4 gold pyramid pin of your office. Imperial Sir, having already received the jewel of the office to which you have been elected, do you solemnly promise and swear before the ancient Egyptian Arabic order Novus Mystic Shrine of North and South America and its jurisdiction incorporated, and appealing to heaven for the rectitude of your action, that you will use your best endeavors to promote the peace and prosperity of the order? All this who so swear will raise his right hand to God and answer, I do swear, so help me God.
I do swear, so help me God.
By authority in me vested by the Imperial Council, I, Donald R. Parks, past Imperial Potentate, declare you duly installed into the office to which you have been elected. Congratulations.
First, I I give honor and praise to God for this blessed opportunity to preside over the installation of our 44th Imperial Potentate, John T. Chapman. We would like to begin our program with the invocation by his pastor, Pastor Walker.
God, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for the opportunity to celebrate what you are doing in the earth. We thank you for the opportunity to watch the Honorable John to come into this leadership, watch Brother Chapman lead this organization in impacting the world. So we ask your grace and your blessings upon all the deliberations and upon this moment, that even in this unconventional way you would give glory and honor. We ask these and all of the blessings through Christ our Lord. For his sake we do pray. Amen. Amen.
Look at me. Look at me. I am changing, trying every way I can. I'm changing. I'll be better than I am. I'm trying to find a way to understand, but I need a hand. I am changing, seeing everything so clear. I am changing, gonna start right now, right here. I'm hoping to work it out. I know that I can, but I need you. I need a hand. All my life I've been a fool who said I could do it all alone. How many dark nights have I known? How many dark days have I come? Walking down this wrong road, there was nothing I could find. All these nights of darkness could make a person blind, but now I can see I am changing, trying every way I can. I'm changing. I'll be better than I am, but I need a friend to help me start all over again. That would be just fine. It's gonna work out this time. This time I am. This time I am. Changing. Gonna get my life together now. I'm changing. Yes, I know, yes, I know, yes, I know. I'm gonna start again, gonna leave my past behind. I'll change my life. I'll make a vow
important, but there's a couple of people here I need to take a moment to acknowledge that we have our Imperial legal advisor who serves on our Imperial Divan board. So just you can stand up, wave your hand. I'm Bedorian Glover, past Grand Master of the great state of New York, tremendous legal attorney. We have coming from St. Louis, Missouri, our past Imperial commanders who could be a potentate, so she bossed everybody. Past Imperial commanders, Josephine Stokes Reed. And our Imperial commanders who has come all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. Imperial commanders, you come on and bring some greetings.
Greetings, nobles, daughters, family, and friends. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Right. I am truly honored and excited to be present today to witness the installation of Noble John Thornton Chapman as the 44th Imperial Potentate of the ancient Egyptian Arabic order, Nobles of the Mystic Shrine, of North and South America and its jurisdictions incorporated. Noble Chapman, congratulations to you and your new board members. I pray God bless you with wisdom in your decisions, strength in your relationships, success in your commitments, and peace in your decisions. May you have a very successful tenure, and I know that you will work wholeheartedly to take this organization to higher heights. I look forward to working with you for the good of this organization. To Kelly, I appreciate you and look forward to your continued support to the Imperial Potentate and to this organization as a whole. Again, congratulations and God bless you.
Imperial Marshal, we have looked forward to this moment where we will ask you to conduct our Imperial Potentate elect, John T. Chapman and Mrs. Kelly Chapman, to the office. So, Imperial Sir, I take pleasure in presenting you, Noble John Thornton Chapman, for installation as the Imperial Potentate of this Imperial Council, ancient Egyptian Arabic order, nobles of the Mystic Shrine of North and South America and its jurisdictions incorporated. You have been found, sir, to be well qualified and skilled in all the mysteries of the order, and is jealous and diffusing the sacred principles of our time-honored institution, and is one whose integrity and fidelity the nobles of this Imperial Council, sir, have reposed in you its highest trust. But before you can ascend to this highly honorable station, you must require your answers to the following interrogatories. So do you solemnly vow upon your honor that you will exert your best endeavors to promote the happiness of all nobles of the Mystic Shrine? Will you endeavor, sir, to promote the general good of the order and preserve the secrets of our ceremonies with profound respect and reverence? That you will not acknowledge any of the so-called Imperial Council nobles or subordinate temples, recognizing at all times the supreme authority of our Imperial Council to create nobles and establish temples composed of Freemasons who are in good standing or was in good standing, of lodges under the obedience of symbolic grand lodges of Freemasonry, which trace their lineage to African Lodge 459 of Boston, Massachusetts, and no other. That you will endeavor and maintain and support the authority of this Imperial Council, ancient Egyptian Arab God, nobles of the mystic shrine of North and South America, and enforce obedience of its statutes, its regulations, and your own edicts whenever issued. Do you solemnly promise and swear before this Imperial Council and appealing to heaven for the rectitude of your actions, that you will use your best endeavors to correct the wrongs, if there be any, and purify the morals of brother nobles, and promote peace and prosperity of this Imperial Council? That you will not suffer this Imperial Council to be open unless there is a constitutional number of subordinate temples duly represented. That you will not permit anyone else to enter the Imperial session unless he is properly clothed and is in good standing, a member of a subordinate temple, holding a charter from this Imperial Council of the ancient Egyptian Arab mystic shrine. That you, sir, will not preside over the Imperial Council in a haughty or arbitrary manner, but will use your best efforts to promote peace and goodwill among the nobility and between the temples of our Imperial Council. That you will faithfully observe and support the Constitution and general laws of this Imperial Council, and require all subordinate temples holding a charter to comply therewith. Do you submit to these requirements, sir, and promise to observe and practice them faithfully and honestly? And if you do, sir, will you raise your right hand to God and answer, I do swear, so help me God.
I do swear, so help me God.
Imperial Marshal, please cause our Imperial Potentate elect to kneel at the altar. I'm going to ask Pastor Wall if you will come again and pray for our Imperial Potentate elect so that God will bless him, his family, and his administration.
Bow our head. God, we thank you for this moment as we celebrate the leadership of this august body. Lord, we recognize the critical hour that Black people find themselves in these yet to be United States. Whether we are called Imperial Potentate, President, Bacillus, Hallmark, Chairman, Pastor, whoever we are, giving leadership to these organizations. We need forward thinking. We need committed men and women. And God, we thank you that you've placed such a man in this organization for such a time as this. God, we ask that you would crown him with wisdom. God, we ask that you would give him courage and curiosity. Lord, grant him creativity, that this body would be part of the solution and answer to that which plagues us in this season. We ask that you bless his wife. Bless those that have been assigned to be on his left and his right, so that ultimately in his life you would get glory, and it would be for our good. Protect him from the evil one. Protect him from those things that so easily beset those who sit in seats of distinction. And then, God, let his time in power be that is joyful for him and fruitful for those who follow him. Then, God, will be ever so mindful to give you all the praise, all the glory, and all the honor. It's in the matchless, marvelous, and majestic name of he who was dead but is alive forevermore. In the name of Jesus, I pray with thanksgiving in my heart. Amen. Amen.
With entire confidence in the rectitude of your intentions, and, sir, in the integrity of your character as a noble of the mystic shrine, and having now been elected to this distinguished position, the highest gift of the nobility, as the imperial potentate of this imperial council, ancient Egyptian Arabic order, nobles of the mystic shrine of North and South America, and its jurisdiction incorporated, you will now be vested with the jewel of the office. You will also be invested with your affairs and your pen of 5 gold pyramids. Only the imperial potentate of our organization wears 5 gold pyramids. I also present to you the Holy Bible. Let it be your guiding light. Read it regularly. It will lead you down the right path. And lastly, I'm going to also place in your hands this gavel, sir, the emblem of power and authority. And be reminded that you have already promised that you will not use it in a haughty or an arbitrary manner, but will use it in your best efforts to promote the peace and goodwill among the nobles. Marshal, will you so proclaim in the south, west, east, and north that the Honorable John Thornton Chapman has been elected and duly installed as the 44th Imperial Potentate of the ancient Egyptian Arabic order nobles of the mystic shrine of North and South America and its jurisdictions incorporated?
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. I now proclaim that John Thornton Chapman has been duly initiated and installed as the 44th Imperial Potentate of the ancient Egyptian Arabic order, nobles of the mystic shrine, northern and southern jurisdictions of America. imperial potentate of the ancient Egyptian, Arabic order, nobles of the mystic shrine, northern and southern jurisdiction of America, Incorporated. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. I now proclaim that John Thornton Chapman has been duly initiated and installed as the 44th imperial potentate of the ancient Egyptian, Arabic order, nobles of the mystic shrine of Northern and South America, Incorporated. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. I now proclaim that John Thornton Chapman has been duly initiated and installed as the 44th imperial potentate of the ancient Egyptian Arabic order, nobles of the mystic shrine of northern and southern jurisdiction of the United States, Incorporated. Sir.
Thank you, sir. Noble John T. Thornton Chapman, it has so been proclaimed in the north, south, east, and west that you have been duly elected and installed as the 44. There's only been 44 imperial potentates of this imperial council. So let your installation be written on the records and spread throughout the land. And may God bless you so that your administration will be remembered for time immemorial. I hereby present to you, sir, this gavel of authority.
Look here. To be here today, I've learned what grace and mercy really is. I thank God for it. I told myself for the last 4 days I wasn't going to cry. But when I walked in this room and I looked at my nephew's eyes, I could see my mother, I could see his mother. My mom was with me for a long time, 46 years. But their mother was with me a short time, and shorter for them. Two of the greatest women I've ever known. And in some ways, the loss of my sister was a loss to my children. Because had she lived, my children would have known what it meant to go to an amusement park and ride a roller coaster. Okay? They would have known what it meant when somebody told them no and sit down. Trust me. The Hill brothers had a mother who was like her mother, a real enforcer. At 46, I took my mother home to Virginia to visit with family and friends. And on Good Friday evening, at Captain George's Seafood Buffet in Hampton, Virginia, we were waiting in line to go eat. So my wife and my sister were standing in front of her. I was behind her. And you know, you had to know my mother to understand this. My mother was very firm. When she told you something, you had better do it. My mother always told me, don't you ever put your hands on me. Well, you know, Pastor, I kind of rationalized at this point that she would understand. So as the person was calling for Chapman Party of 4, my sister and my wife began to follow him, and my mother went to my right. And I reached out and I caught her by her arm. At that point, she took a pocketbook, she broke my nose, she broke my glasses. She told me, I told you, don't never put your hands on me. And I was 46, Pastor. So Jeff Hill can tell you about his encounter with my mother and me in a 10-inch cast iron skillet when I was a young teenager growing up. Well, I was on my way to a social affair on a Friday evening, and when I came to, they were announcing the Eagles game on television. So, you know, my mother was very resolute, and when she told you something, you ought to follow it. I want to thank all of you for being here today. Especially am heartened that, you know, the spawn of my seed are here. My wife and I had a conversation a couple Sundays ago because I said, you know, my son, he's like his father. I did the best I could to convince him that he was his own person and he didn't have to model himself after his father. Well, Dr. Jones, he blessed me with 2 grandbabies that love their papa. And I blessed him with a grandbaby who is just like his nana. So I want to see how this is going to turn out in a few years, okay? Because the youngest one is a real tough guy, a real gangster. So I'm going to, you know, see what it is. I got my baby girl here today. You know, that's my pumpkin pie. I love her to death, okay? And to show you the grace and mercy of God, I lost her 5 years ago, okay? She coded on the emergency room table at Einstein for 17 minutes. But God gave her back. So I have more than enough to be thankful for. My pole mark is leaving, so I want to acknowledge all the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated, the greatest fraternity on earth known to God and man. Okay. Brother Douglas Harrell, who is also the chief payment officer for the school district of Philadelphia. Go write them checks. I'm blessed to have my pastor here today. You know, my pastor don't do a lot of fraternal things. That ain't his thing. And I understand that and I respect that. But 7 years ago in Phoenix, Arizona, I asked him to come and preach our Sunday morning worship. And we sat together. And he said to me, God must have put you and I together because I would have never done this for anybody else. And I'm grateful for that friendship that you offered to me. And I will respect it and cherish it always. I got 2 gentlemen here today who are nobles of the Mystic Shrine and also past Most Worshipful Grand Masters in the Most Worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Pennsylvania. The Honorable Lorenzo Kruger, Sr., the Honorable Herbert Nathaniel Gibbons, Sr., just rise and let people see who we are. Lowe and Herb nominated me to the office of Imperial Outer Guard in Kansas City, Missouri, 20 years ago. And their impact on my ability to be elected to this line was tremendous. Because I won by 2-1. So I thank you. And I hope that I've rewarded you with responsible stewardship and behavior, okay, over these 20 years. Also, Reverend Gibbons has another special place in my life because on the night before I married my wife, God rest his soul, the Reverend, whatever titles that Father Logan had, was supposed to marry me. And Father called me up at 7 o'clock on Friday night, Grandmaster Wilkins, and he said to me, I can't marry you, Mom. I said, what? He said, well, you know, we got to meet with the bishop, and then you got to wait 60 days. So I got right on my phone, because I knew a good AME preacher, okay, that could handle the task. And Reverend Gibbons, you did an outstanding job, even though Father Logan took the gratuity. Okay. But if you knew Father, he wasn't leaving without the gratuity. my boy, you know, my sister's boys are here today. And that means a lot to me. One of them, pastor, he's a little cynical at times, okay? But I love him anyhow. See, his oldest brother and I, we kind of kindred souls. But that middle child, he can be a little difficult, okay? But then my pastor knows that because he's my pastor's deacon, okay? And, you know, I'm sure Reverend Wiles had some enticing conversations, okay? The oldest boy wasn't baptized for a lot of years, and he decided that he wanted to do that. So we went to church as a family, and we were there the night he was baptized, and I was sitting across the aisle from my family, and I was trying to mind my own business. And as I sat there, Grandmaster Wilson, somebody came up behind me and said, I felt the building rumble and shake when I saw you in here. Little boy, you know I love you because I don't take that from too many people, even though I know you think you're the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, jumping out of helicopters and all that nonsense, but that was an impactful moment for me because I began to attend church regularly after that. And I decided that I wanted to join Enoch. And I told the pastor's deacon that I would like for him to arrange a meeting with him because I just wanted to talk about what it was going to be. So we met Saturday after Thanksgiving that year. And we sat in the office and talked. And I told him, I said, you know, I want to join. I don't know, you know, he said, what's wrong? I said, man, I want to join, but I don't like church people. He said, neither do I, and you can cuss them out when I can. So I just want y'all to know I have a special ministry at the E9 Tabernacle Baptist Church in Philadelphia. And I handle it well, Reverend Gibbons. That's all I can tell you. I am bilingual, okay, and I can express myself in a language in which people can get the point and understand. We talk about family. Well, the Willingboro girls are here today. I think I'm fortunate, Pastor, because, you know, I got cut in on something that I still don't understand. There were two men in this world who my wife loved far more than me. The two victims. I had a brother-in-law who was more than fun to be with, okay? Right? Had quick wit and a sharp tongue, okay? But his dad, my father-in-law, talked about everybody, anywhere, all the time. But he was the best human being that I have ever met in my life. Because he had the distinct ability to make everybody feel special, no matter who you were. And I thank God for that. Because Victor Lewis Murray Sr. was somebody to be appreciated at all times. Two of the three girls are here today. One of the girls couldn't come because she had to work, and God knows she needs to work. You know, we ain't trying to. In fact, I got a check for you to take home, okay, to give her, okay. But Melissa, who is my brother-in-law's oldest daughter, is here. Derek, as you can see, she, you know, the beauty runs in the family on the Murray side, because, you know, you ain't met them Carneys yet. You know, that's a whole nother crowd. But Miss Murray is a retired corrections officer. She served 26 years at Broadway State Prison. And you can ask her son, and he will attest to her capability of managing an individual's behavior. Okay. And the other one sitting beside her mother, well, we just affectionately call her Teeny Bean. Okay. And I ain't gonna tell you Teeny Bean's story, because she would be tragically embarrassed. The vision for this organization is simple. We don't need to change it. We just need to expand it, upgrade it, and improve it. It's about service. It's about the creed that, as I paraphrase the scripture, that which you do for the least of you do for me. If you've got a charge greater than that, I don't know what it is. Okay? And I don't believe you can find it. I had notes here about what I was going to say today, but I'm gonna cut this short. Okay? I've tried to do some things in my time, in the 20 years that I've been here, that I felt were needed and to be corrected. I needed to break the glass ceiling for women, that in the tenure of this office, misogyny and chauvinism will not be accepted under any circumstances, for any reason, at any time. This is the first time an Imperial Commanders has spoken at the installation of an Imperial potentate. Now, I got a problem with men who have a problem with women. Because for somebody who nurtured you and carried you for 40 weeks, birthed you into the world, and gave you the capability to move on your own, how can you not like a woman? I don't, as Dr. Slaughter says, you know, I'm looking for logic where there ain't none. But then as my little brother over here says quite frequently, you can't outsmart stupidity. But during this tenure of office, women will be appreciated, recognized, and included. With the Imperial Commanders today is the 47th Imperial Commanders, Josephine Stokes Weed of St. Louis. And as Dr. Slaughter proclaimed, the Imperial Commanders, she is now the 48th Imperial Commanders, because I changed their numbers. Because the person that preceded Daughter Stokes Weed passed away 4 months from the date in which she would assume office as Imperial Commander. And I did not believe it correct or right to name her an actual past Imperial Commanders and not give her the deserved number that she was entitled to. See, Pastor, I told her. They said, well, she didn't serve. I said, so what is 17 years and 8 months? Can you give me something on that? Not to mention the years that she has served as an appointed Imperial Court officer or served her court. I'm blessed today to have 2 active most worshipful Grand Masters, Alvin K. Wilkins of the Virgin Islands, and my good buddy, most worshipful Grand Master of the jurisdiction of Louisiana, A. Ralph Slaughter. But more importantly, my other woman is here. And if you really want to know how she makes things go, Dr. Jones, she and you have the same mechanism. It's just that you express it a little better than she does sometimes. Okay. And she speaks to me in that other language, Pastor, and I understand her clearly. I got my squad here today. I got my chief rabban of my temple. I got the deputy of the Oasis of Philadelphia, Derek Morales. I got the former deputy of the Desert of Pennsylvania, and my right-hand man sometimes, John P. Goss. But we also have the current deputy of the Desert of Pennsylvania, James Murphy, to include the current deputy for the Desert of Pennsylvania, Yvonne Montague Mason. I got my little boys, Doc. Okay? The little fat guy sitting behind the Grand Master from the Virgin Islands in the plaid jacket. He's been on this road with me from the time he became a noble. And Macrae Bostic has been a true asset in all of my pursuits when it came to Shrine. The big guy sitting in the back, he drives the car, and he will tell you very pointedly, 4 in the car. And you ain't one of them, okay? one that guards my safety, Pastor, you know, you got your armor bearers. Okay, well, I got an active Philadelphia police detective assigned to the Joint Narcotics Strike Force. The little boy sitting in the back over there, Gregory Gillespie, call him Little G. Take me down the line. I'm just trying to get to everybody in the room. And let me tell you something. There's only one Caucasian person sitting in the room. And that's another son, Mr. J. Overcash. He and my son have been friends since the first day of first grade at Norwood Fontbonne Academy. First day of first grade. And they are inseparable. And I ain't jealous, Jay, that you got more influence on his opinion than I do. In fact, I'm glad there's somebody that he will listen to, because Kruger, he's like his father. We're going to do different things. We're in a different time. The pandemic is upon us. But we can't shy from our civic responsibility to vote and help others to vote and help others to register to vote. We cannot turn away from the needs of our community in regard to health issues. And I don't just mean diabetes, because we have an initiative in which we donate over 10 years, $1 million to the ADA. So we're going to change it from the National Diabetes Initiative to Community Health Initiative. Because there's a lot of folk that need mental health care. There's a lot of folk who need care around cardiac issues. There's other issues that impact our community that we as an organization will have to address and help to render. I'm appointing an officer of diversity and inclusion in the office of the Imperial Potentate. We are in different times. People are different, okay? And even though we can get into philosophical debates about their posture on issues, they're still God's children. And they still need to be appreciated and respected, okay? And given full access to everything that we have access to. We're going to give money to historically black colleges and universities. If we come to Philadelphia next year for a session, I plan to have the Divan to approve and the Imperial Council to acclaim that we will provide Cheney University and Lincoln University with a check, $25,000 each, to support a student. And that commission is a path, a segue to my vision about youth, Murphy, that we won't just mentor the children of our members, but we will expand mentoring to include, with the assistance of Dr. Cassandra Jones, Dr. Theodore Thompson. We have a noble from Shreveport, Louisiana, who is a professor of teacher practice. Okay, we're going to write a youth engagement platform. And Dr. Jones and Dr. Thompson will assist us in papering a grant request. Now, he wasn't able to make it today because he has a doctor's appointment, but the Honorable Dwight Evans, Congressman for the 2nd District of Pennsylvania, who I've known since he was 10 years old, has agreed that he will include this grant request, Dr. Slaughter, in an appropriation bill put before Congress. Because we don't need to just mentor children when they're young. We need to assist them as they make that progression through that process called high school. And then we need to have some support for them so that they can complete college in 4 years and not 6 or 7. Okay? We need to buy somebody a laptop, buy them some books, do some other things for them. Okay? Mr. Washington, we're going to have that money there. And you're here with your frat brothers today, Dr. A. Ralph Slaughter and Grandmaster A.K. Wilkins, also members of Omega Psi Phi Incorporated. So I don't want to leave you out. Wash and I have known each other since Cheney State. Okay? More than 50 years. Okay? More than 50 years. can say to you is that I pledge myself to do the very best job that I can, okay, for everybody. This is not about me, it's about us. This is a we thing, not a me thing. You know, as Dr. Slaughter said, if we went in Atlanta, Pastor, and you were praying for me, I would have been led into that room by 25 Imperial marshals singing the song, Hail Imperial. Potentate. My wife said, you ain't nobody singing that song, okay? But you were acting fool, and then I'm going to hit you upside your head. But it's not about me. My time is over. I'm on my way out. I tried to make a difference in the 20 years ascending to this point. Now I'm just going to try to keep the ship on course, okay, to see that our younger nobles who are members of this Divan, Bishop Hughes over here, and Lil Ratley, okay, you know, they got more to offer. They're younger. They got vitality, spirit, energy, okay? I can't go to the bathroom at night without my glasses, so, you know, I know somebody else needs to be able to do this, okay, and it ain't me. I've been embraced. So I'm just going to take this little story and I'm going to get away from me. This journey started 15 minutes from me. Plastic game. Okay? That's where it started. It's 6 square blocks of people who made a difference in my life, the lives of my nephews, my family. You know, I grew up with people the likes of Herb Radley, okay? Hall of Fame cornerback, first ballot, 1980. These are Plastic-Town boys. I'm a life member of the Wissahickon Boys and Girls Club, which was the first African-American boys club in America. I cherish my place in Pulaski Town for 2 reasons. One, Stu, we can always go home. If we can't go nowhere else, we can go to Pulaski Town, and ain't nobody gonna give us a problem. The second thing is, my mother told me, she said, boy, as long as you don't forget where you came from, you'll never lose sight of where you're going. And I'm proud to claim Pulaski Town home. So you heard when Miss Margaret moved to the building, you know, little Eddie, okay, and that, we all grew up together. They were Herb and Tootie. They were Herb, their grandmaster, past grandmaster Gibbons' cousins, first cousins. His mother and Miss Margaret were sisters, okay? So, you know, 15 minutes from here, you go right across the river, you in Pulaski Town. And if you needed your posture corrected, Pulaski Town was one place where it could occur quite proficiently. But Pastor, we're so proud of you, we love you so much, that's why we made you, okay, honorary member of Pulaski Town. Everybody don't get that distinction. People marry into Pulaski Town families and don't get no recognition. So, and Pops, I'm not gonna leave you out, because he, Dr. Cassandra Watson-Jones, and Dr. James Herbert Lytle are 3 people that I owe a great deal to, because they honed my professional skills, okay? They gave me insight, information. Lou Moore was responsible personally for me becoming the principal of Benjamin Franklin High School. I succeeded him as the principal. And along with him, with Dr. Jones's consultative experience, he and I, my frat brother, the little brother right there, Louis Alvin Williams Jr., we had a team of restoration for out-of-control schools that hasn't been matched yet, and I don't really think it's gonna ever come again. I love all of y'all. And I'm gonna say to my little frat brother sitting over there, find a new pie, bro. Okay. proud of your mama. She did a great job. She did a great job. But y'all had to know, you know, that my mom was always in the back, covering the bases. Okay. And certainly last but not least, Dawn? Dawn's a lawyer. You know, you will never speak about a lawyer because you don't never know what they're going to say the next time you see them. Huh? Oh, my wife is correcting me. Noble Glover, who is our legal advisor, is a past most worshipful Grand Master of the state of New York, but he is also the president of the Conference of all Prince Hall Grand Masters, okay, right, for these 47 jurisdictions. So, sir, we appreciate your attendance, okay, and we close the meeting. The woman I married, well, let me say it to you this way. I guess I know I did the right thing, Herb, because my mother liked it. My mother didn't like a whole lot of people, okay? But, you know, the two of them being Geminis, that toughness, okay, that toughness and that resilience in her as a woman has made a difference in my life. She has supported me and bolstered me on this journey. She helped to raise my children, okay? My grandchildren, the little gangster, as soon as she walks in, you know, she wants to take her jewelry off and go hide it, okay? I like to say all the time that, you know, I asked God for this woman and he gave her to me. So even though I complained, okay, and I don't think I should be told anything and I know everything, okay, at the end of the day, I do exactly what she says at one point or another. So I love you. I am in love with you. Okay. And Herb did a great job. So I want to thank everybody for being here. You know, I don't want to talk anymore. I just like to take Ms. Fairs and Kyle Auburn and put up my time and sit down because I'm just Buddy Chapman. See, if you know me as Buddy Chapman, then you really know me. Okay. You see Pastor over there, see your little impetuous deacon over there, you know, see, he runs his mouth as he usually does. Oh, you talking, I'm talking, see, he doesn't, I'm not, listen, I don't feel bad because he do the same thing to the pastor. He be standing up in the balcony in the rail talking about, cut it short, the Eagle games are coming on. So, you know, I'm okay with it. But I'm happy that I achieved this goal, but more importantly, I'm happy that all of you still embrace me and still love me, okay? And for whatever reason will carry me forward so that we can do something beneficial to others. Remember, if it ain't about serving leadership, you shouldn't be doing it. Okay? Right. You got to serve others. Your time will come. I was in the hospital. Nurse walked in my room, Jay, about 2:30 in the morning. She looked at the chart. She said, Mr. Chapman. I said, I just hope you were one of my good students and you can read and write a count. Because I don't want you to give me the wrong doses of that morphine I'm about to get. But, hey, I'm proud of my kids. One of them is the current president of Bowie State University, Dr. Minka Bro. Okay? I'm proud of my children. The African-American lieutenant colonel that escorted Muhammad Ali to Barack Obama's inauguration, Reggie Bullock, one of my students. So, Herb, I guess I did a couple things right. I did a lot of things wrong and I made a lot of mistakes. But I guess the few things that I did right, okay, made a difference to other people and to the world. So God bless you, okay? We look forward to Mika. I want you to sing that song, okay? Because the first one talks about my transition right now. This one speaks to my hope for completion of it. So why don't you come on?
So glad I made it through. In spite of the storm and rain, heartache and pain, I'm still alive declaring I made it through. I didn't lose. Experienced loss at a major cost, but I never lost faith in you. So if you see me cry, it's just a sign that I'm still alive. I've got some scars, but I'm still alive. In spite of calamity, He still has a plan for me. It's working out for my good. It's my testimony. So glad I made it. So glad I made it. I made it through. I made it through. In spite of the storm and rain. Heartache and pain. Heartache and pain. Still alive declaring I made it through, yeah. I didn't lose. Experience loss and a major cause. I never lost faith in you. So glad I made it. So glad I made it. I made it through. I made it through. So glad I made it. So glad I made it. So glad I made it through. I made it through. Oh, so glad I made it. I could have lost my mind. So glad I made it. But God kept me. I made it through. Oh, does anybody in here? Come on, can I get a witness? Anybody been through anything? You wanted to just throw in the towel, but God kept you, God kept you, God kept you. So glad I made it. Come on, give God the glory. Come on, give God the praise. In spite of it all, He kept me. I made it, I made it, I made it. The devil is a liar. Oh, the devil is a liar. I made it through, yeah. I made it, I made it, I made it. With tears in my eyes, I kept pressing forward. I made it through. I made it through. So if you see me cry, it's just a sign that I'm still alive. I've got some scars, but I'm still alive. In spite of calamity, God still has a plan for me, yeah. It's all working out for my good. It's my testimony.
So, by the authority in me now vested as the 44th Imperial Potentate, the ancient Egyptian, Arabic order, nobles, mystic shrine of North and South America in this jurisdiction incorporated, I proclaim this Imperial Council closed.
God, we bless you and we thank you for this day. We thank you for Brother Chapman, and we thank you for all who hold seats of distinction in this august body. Thank you for what we have experienced, and now as we have entered to worship, we depart to serve. We would that you go with us, stand by us until we meet again. We ask it through Christ our Lord, and for his sake we do pray, and all say,